All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to play that particular clip just to give you guys an exact idea of how I've felt since this news has started to materialize to the point where Pochettino is the clear-cut favorite. He is now most likely to get the Chelsea managerial job. And look, just like with every other manager, there's always doubts, of course, but I feel like we could have done better. And everything that Mark Goldbridge said is bang on. Is bang on. In terms of the owners and the board taking a different direction. It's true. Gone are those days. I think it's high time we start accepting that this is no longer the Roman era. I think everything that we knew, and this is a message for me as well, maybe, feeling like, we should be winning titles, even through adversities, we pick up silverware. I think we as a fan base, as I said, including myself, we need to start reassessing where the direction of the club is going under this new regime, which is, you can see, as Mark Gorbridge said, with Graham Potter, now Pochettino, we're not really aiming for the elites of the games, are we? We're not really looking to, pick up silverware as being the paramount objective. It's all about let's bring some sort of sustainability. It's all about. I just get the feeling it is a business. It is a business model now. Chelsea being so volatile this season is not good for business. As long as we can make it to top 4, top 6 within that bracket, we will bring in the revenue streams. We are looking to redevelop the stadium. That will bring us some income. Hopefully, once we get into that top 4, top 6, and get regular football in European stages, that will consistently bring us good sponsorships. And ultimately, I think that is the goal. I don't think the goal is necessarily that you must win silverware. I don't think that's the thing. This is a whole ideology of that Super League model that everyone was sort of trying to talk into existence a couple of seasons ago, where Chelsea and many of the other sort of elite clubs in the Premier League should be at the European stages every single year. Top 4, top 6 kind of gives you that, whether it's Champions League, whether it's Europa League, you're going to be in Europe. A club like Chelsea should not miss out on that. And a competition like the Super League ensured, regardless of whether you win it or not, you're there. You're going to pick up a handsome amount of money through TV rights, and your match day collections will be good. I think this is what it's come down to. I really do think this is what it's come down to. Roman Abramovich treated us like a fan, man. Like, he treated the club as a fan. Like, he was a fan of the football club. And winning silverware is what really got him going. We sacked high caliber managers for not even doing anything bad. Like, for example, Carlo Ancelotti coming second in the Premier League and not going all the way in the Champions League, got sacked. But under this new regime, that kind of stuff, we're not going to see, because sustainability is what they're looking for. They're not really looking for, well, you didn't do it, I'm going to find someone who can do it. So we're not going to get a situation where, even through adversity, like Antonio Conte did in his first season, lots of adversity. The season before that, we came 10th, then we won it. Even someone like Thomas Tuchel in recent times, winning the Champions League under a lot of adversity. It's not, I don't think that's going to happen anymore, because the direction we're going with the managers, like, you'll see the shortlist. I'll display the shortlist to you guys very, very soon. And of course, Pochettino is the clear-cut favorite in the shortlist. You don't want to look at the other two. But yeah, it clearly screams out that we're not really there to win stuff at the moment. We're just there to bring some stability for the time being and move into the top 4, top 6 position. And then we'll see what happens after that. If we don't win any titles, but we consistently make top 4, top 6, that's good enough. Develop the players, flip them for some profit whilst the redevelopment of stadium happens. We just need a particular gaffer that's just going to maintain status quo. We'll never ever do anything above miracles and all of that. That's like, for example, 2012 under Roberto Di Matteo in the Champions League. Miracles ain't something that's going to happen. And Premier League titles, you see the opposition, you see the rival clubs, they're just getting better and better. They're not going to wait around for us to catch up. So yeah, let's look at the latest news, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll give you the opinions on each and every one of these matters. Look at this. This is quite interesting. Chelsea transfer has put this out. So Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart's exhaustive search has led to, by the way, Ange Postecoglou, ladies and gentlemen, is that third choice. My days. We'll talk about that. Maurizio Pochettino, Vincent Kompany, Ange Postecoglou. That's the shortlist. That's the shortlist of Chelsea Football Club. I don't believe for a second that would be the shortlist under Roman. Like if Roman was the manager, I do not for a second think that would be the shortlist. But this is what Mark Goldwich was talking about. Yeah, it's a new direction. And I think there are a couple other really, really interesting points that he brought up. Like we do need to question why managers like Nagelsmann, for instance, has looked away from Chelsea Football Club. That's, for me, that is a glaring issue. Like Nagelsmann was put off. Do you know what I mean? It is something to think about. Like, are we not going to get any elite level managers anymore? And the other thing that Mark Goldwich said, that owners are not capable of getting their elite managers. Not only they're not capable, I don't think they want it. I really don't think they want it. They don't want an elite level manager that perhaps might have a bigger stature than them. They want a particular manager. Yeah, we go back to the throwing of the word yes man. They want a particular manager that they can control, that they can throw anything to, and the manager will simply not complain. Nagelsmann and Luis Enrique are out having reservations of the project. Doesn't this new direction excite you, Chelsea fans? Maybe Drogba was right. I no longer recognize my club. Yeah, let's see what the future holds. Julian Nagelsmann ultimately had some doubts about the setup he would be joining and decided to pull on Thursday. That's a little bit about Julian Nagelsmann. Breaking Ange Postecoglou is the surprise inclusion on the Chelsea shortlist. Look, Ange Postecoglou is my Australian compatriot. In one side, I'm happy for him to be connected. Ange Postecoglou is looked at like as Pep Guardiola here in Australia. Obviously, he's doing really well at Scottish League. But is this what the data analytics has pulled out? Like this is where data has to be relevant. Just because you've done well in Australia and you've done well in Scotland, I think Postecoglou was in China prior to that, and he did really well there as well. Now that doesn't mean, or I think he might have been in Japan, one or the other. That doesn't mean that because you've got a good record there, that all of a sudden that you're going to have an extremely successful tenure here at Chelsea Football Club. It just gives me some sort of an alarm bell that the thought process around this managerial selection is quite strange. Let's move on to the next bit of news. Ange Postecoglou is a surprise inclusion on the shortlist of candidates to become Chelsea's next head coach. Postecoglou is on the course to win a second consecutive Scottish Premier League title with Celtic. We've seen Steven Gerrard do well in Scotland as well. Then he's come to Villa and he's fumbled it big time. And Unai Emery, a serious manager, comes in who's done madness with Villarreal and Sevilla before that, comes in and just lifts Aston Villa immediately to the point where Aston Villa are vying for European positions, whether it's Champions League, whether it's Europa League. It's a mad turnaround from where Gerrard left them at 16th, I believe, in tatters. Unai Emery has come in and changed things up. And this is the thing, us being data-driven and doing a whole heap of data analysis, it's got to be relevant. It has to be relevant. You can't be looking at, your win percentages in Scotland or China or Japan or Australia and think, you know what? This guy's a good manager. Probably going to work out in the Premier League. It's a different ballgame. Chelsea are leaning towards offering Pochettino the job. He's joined by Kompany and Postecoglou of Celtic. Julian Nagelsmann had representatives about Chelsea's project. Look, it's Poch. Forget about the other two names. Kompany, look, as great as he's done at Burnley, and I fully respect that. I want him to continue at Burnley and see how he does in the Premier League. It's all too early for Kompany right now. He's still learning his traits. Like, for him to take up this Chelsea job, I think it will be detrimental to his career. It could potentially kill his career, just the way Frank Lampard is experiencing it now. Chelsea accelerates for Mauricio Pochettino. In the next few days, the Argentine coach will begin to negotiate terms of the contract with the Londoners. This is going to happen, and we just need to brace ourselves now that Mauricio Pochettino will be the next Chelsea manager. Mauricio Pochettino and Chelsea have discussed a time frame for when to take over, which would likely involve a summer start as well as potential transfers, as he talks to become new manager have reached the next stage. So look, ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself for the Pochettino era. I think we as a fan base just need to accept it now. That's it. As I've always maintained, I don't think Poch is a bad manager, but I just have doubts that is he a killer, ruthless type of a manager that's going to win stuff. As Goldbridge said, is his ceiling is as good as what Spurs provided, or could his ceiling be more at Chelsea Football Club? But what is the ceiling at Chelsea Football Club at the moment? I mean, I feel like we are somewhat moving in that Spurs direction anyway. We're not the same Chelsea. So we do need to realize we're not the same Chelsea under Roman Abramovich. This current Chelsea, the form that we're seeing right now, it's very much Spurs level, isn't it? In fact, I think Spurs is probably higher than us at the moment. Obviously, league table will tell us that. We're buying a whole heap of young players, whole heap. There's another one that we bought from Portugal, from Benfica. I don't know who he is, to be honest. He's 18-year-old, free transfer. Got that Colombian 15-year-old a few weeks ago. We're just getting a whole heap of youngsters. And you know, our owners, our board, they tend to believe Poch is the right man to develop these youngsters. And that seems to be the prerogative. That seems to be the ambition. That seems to be the drive at the moment. It's just develop these young players. And we'll see what happens down the track. It's not about winning now. It's what Drogba said. You know, when Roman first took over, he bought a lot of players, but he bought a lot of experienced players to win now. We're not buying players to win now. I don't even know if we're buying players to win later on, because we don't know. It's a gamble with these young kids, right? It is a bet. But look, let's hope that Pochettino does well. For me, look, he's a stable manager. I don't think he really brings anything unique. I was having this conversation with Matisse, and we were talking about, could he potentially win anything? I just don't know whether he has that in him. But then Matisse said, what about Sarri? You know, he didn't win anything. He came in and won. But the thing with Sarri was there was something unique about him. You know, his playing style was unique. You knew eventually enough with that playing style, you would win something. Do you know what I mean? What's the uniqueness about Pochettino? What's unique about Poch that he develops players? Like, are there any other managers in world football that can develop young players? I find that hard to believe. Can he go toe-to-toe against some of the best managers in the Premier League and actually win us stuff down the track? Not next season. I understand we need a redevelopment stage, and I understand we need our confidence back. I get our players are shattered. I understand that their confidence level is low, and Pochettino could potentially bring that back. I'm not one of those people that believe that Pochettino cannot manage egos. I think Pochettino will command respect, some form of respect. Maybe not the elite level of respect, but he will command some form of respect. He's been around in the game for a while, so he's no Mickey Mouse. But I think he won't rock the boat too much. He really won't. You know, he'll accept everything and anything the board, the owners throw at him, and he'll try and do the best out of that. And you can sit there and say that maybe that's what we need. But I tend to believe that type of character, that's not a winning character for me. That's just not a winning character. That's just a stable. Yeah, it's a good old stable guy. Yeah, he's going to make us very, very stable. I guess that's probably what we have to accept now. Let me know in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, how you feel about everything. We'll come back with a live stream tomorrow. We might talk about some players. Felix Johnson has put out the different players that could be up for sale, so we'll talk about that. Till next time, everyone. Subscribe if you're here for the first time. Smash the like button. Catch you guys all soon. Bye.